is saying that we are now live streamed. So it's on my Facebook page.
Okay.
And I'll do the intro while you're there. And then do you see it?
I don't see where to share it. No.
Okay, so on my Facebook page, there's my post. So if you bring up my Facebook page, you're there. This interview is right there. So if you
where you posted me with my dog right there?
You're there. I don't know. Let me share this to you, since we are live and people are watching us try to figure it out. I just shared it to you.
To me?
Yes. So you should have something incoming that you can share on Facebook.
On my, okay. I'm going there right now.
Okay. Bear with us, everybody. It's not because we're older. Knock it off.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's because we're beautiful. You're welcome.
I'll take it.
Right? You're so beautiful.
Nothing's coming to me, so you're sharing it on yours, right? Just tag me or something. I don't know.
Okay, so I'd like to tag you right now so that your people can see it right now.
All right, that'd be great. I don't know why I can't find it. It's just not showing up.
It's ridiculous.
I know. Technology. We love it, we hate it, right?
I'm telling you. What's wrong? Zuckerberg, get going on this.
Yeah, fix this stuff.
They can send something to the moon that looks like a you-know-what. Can't fix this.
That looks like a you-know-what, yeah. It did, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, that wasn't missed by anyone. We all saw that.
It might be that we have to share it on your page after.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not popping up. So
no, it's not.
Whatever.
That's cool.
Thanks a lot, Facebook. You let us down again. Okay. So now I'm going to go into my mode to introduce the show and my sponsor, and then I'll introduce you, Linda. And then we'll start talking. We're going to be talking just like if we sat down at a coffee shop.
Perfect.
We looked at each other. And you're kidding. You do comedy too. And then what would we want to know about each other?
Right, exactly.
Only you don't get to ask much about me.
Darn. I don't get to ask questions.
You can ask. I come up with good jokes if people ask me questions. So go ahead. Ask me some questions. Okay. Facebook. Hi, it's Linda Marcus Smith here, your girl. This is Comic Spot. Yeah, you can find it on YouTube under comedian Linda Marcus Smith with 700 and some other interviews that aren't necessarily as important as this moment is. So sorry to tell you, it's about this moment. Yeah. So this show was started so you, the audience, could sit there at home with your pants on, your pants off, whatever. And you can get to know and love these comedians off stage, behind their mask, when they take off the veil of being on show, on stage, and get to know some information. Because I don't know who to go watch in a comedy show. I don't know. Why would I want to support them if I don't know if I like them? You might fall in love with them and in the comedic sense and want to buy every single piece of merchandise or any special they have. So you're going to get to know Linda Erhart Adama Zarrella. I did it did I mess it up?
Lindarella, just shorten it.
Lindarella. Oh, yeah. I was going to get to that in the intro. My bad. I've yet to say an introduction perfectly. Amy Ashton gets me on that every time. Quit messing up your intros. Memorize it. Well, I have a brain injury. I'm lucky to know who I am. So this is as good as it gets. So anyway,
good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I just have to tell you one thing before we get to our interview. I have a really paid sponsor. Somebody is paying our comedians they're paying me money to pay veterans to do comedy, veteran comedy for veterans. So it's veteran to veteran comedy, and I have a sponsor, and I promised them every time I get on the air, I would tell you guys at home to go to ahabroadway.org, AHHA Broadway.org. They do amazing work with children, seniors, awesome. Veterans in acting, improv, and stand-up. So go to them, because veterans can take stand-up classes from a headliner who's famous on the East Coast, Chris Murphy. He's teaching classes for veterans for $10 a class.
Wow, that's great.
So yeah, I love AHA Broadway. Those people are so supportive of me and veteran causes. So now let's get down to business. All right, kick back. Here goes the show. So we're going to start the clock. We're going to at least go 20 minutes, hopefully a half hour. Let's see how this goes. Tonight's guest is more beautiful than I am. I get it.
Oh, come on.
She's so pretty and so sweet, and I'm so delighted to get to know her all by myself. I'm going to pretend you at home aren't even there. Let me read the intro. Linda Zarrella, aka Lindarella, has been an esthetician for my teeth are going to pop out of my mouth for 25 years. Esthetician. I can't even pronounce it once. She's been doing it. She's an antique dealer. Oh, we got to talk. And she's an inventor with a U.S. patent. Oh my gosh, I love all of this. And has been doing stand-up the last 4 years. She's performed at the Irvine Improv, wow, the Coach House, Adele's, and produces a monthly show in the Main Street Showroom in Yorba Linda, California. And she also has something she wants to promote. And I'm going to go down to that flyer. It's a Lindarella Presents Comedy Night coming up September 19th. And hold on, we're going to get into all of this. So let's introduce our special comedian guest of the night. This is Queen for a Night, Lindarella. Woo! Hi, what you got there?
I've got my little Valentino.
Oh.
He performs with me sometimes, and he's my little love.
Oh.
He's very talented, more talented than me, I have to say.
Does he help you remember your punchlines? Or?
He makes sure everybody loves me and remembers me because they love him. Can I have a kiss?
Yeah.
See?
Oh,
can I have a hug?
Oh.
Can you tell Mama a secret? Tell Mama a secret. Oh, that's a hug. Well, anyway, you get the picture. He's a little charmer. Everybody loves him.
Oh my gosh.
He had a heart attack. He had a heart attack during COVID. And they said he wouldn't make it through the night. And that was a year ago. So we're so happy that he's here.
Oh my gosh. How old is he?
He'll be 15 next month.
Oh. And his name is Valentino?
Valentino. We got him the day after Valentine's Day, 14 years ago. Oh. And then he's such a lover. We named him Valentino. And people didn't like it. They didn't like that name. They said he's too small to have that long name. So we shortened it, mostly call him Tino, but he's, Valentino works for him, I think.
Yeah.
he's so sweet. He's a sweetie. We love our little guy. He's our child.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a beagle for 15 years, Murphy.
Oh, my last dog was Murphy. He wasn't a beagle. He wasn't a beagle. He was a poodle chihuahua mix. I had him for 18 years.
Oh my gosh.
I know. My dogs this one's a little sick early. Usually they're not. So we're really babying him a lot. But he's doing good. He's doing good. He just got a recheck and he's actually improving since last year when he had the attack. So we're very happy.
That's good.
I'm sorry about your dog. I guess you lost your dog. Yes. Oh,
it's the love of my life.
I know. It's so hard. It's a hard loss. They give you so much love and you give them so much love, But the love stays.
Murphy was a little spitfire, and he would chase after single moms with strollers and police, and And it was like Murphy's Law, if he could
Right.
get him. And people
That's
asked,
what we said about Murphy too. It was always it was Murphy's way or the highway.
people would say, does he, is that a medical dog? You know, like, is that a medical dog?
Right.
And I'd say, yeah, for PTSD, he causes it.
There you go. Right. Well, you know, my husband thinks that I love the dog way more than I love him. And you know what? That is so not my fault. I'm at that age, you know, where women go from men to paws. Men, no paws. Why do you think they call it that? Men, no paws, right? So, hey, yes. I can't help myself. Yeah.
Well, Linda, I like to go chronologically because then I don't get lost with my brain injury. So let's start, just for me, let's start when you were little. So were you a class clown, or were you shy and quiet?
Actually, I was a little bit of a ham when I was young. Surprise! And my mom got me involved in some commercials and Hollywood stuff. But then when I was getting ready to, and I did a Coke commercial and I did some different things. I was 10 years old. But then when they wanted to sign a contract, they wanted me to do a 3-movie thing, like a Shirley Temple type thing. Yeah. I had to get a work permit, some kind of with Social Security and all that. So I had to have a complete physical, and they found out I needed glasses. And I know, and nobody wore glasses then. And so I got the glasses, and as soon as they put glasses, they said they would work around it. But as soon as they put the glasses on me, I became introverted. And I didn't want to do it anymore. So I kind of felt like, because kids made fun, so I kind of felt like damaged goods. So I turned inward, and I became kind of like a bookworm, and I became a writer, so to speak. By my 6th grade, my teacher told my mom I should be a journalist or a writer instead of an entertainer. So I stayed away from that. That's when I first, when I was young, I was kind of a ham, and then I got away from it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then fast forward a little bit, not fast, but move forward in time to things in your life that happened that got you on stage.
Okay. I got busy I'm on my 2nd marriage, or what I call friends without benefits. My first husband had 2 children, so I was a stepmom and raising those children, and busy with that. So that's mostly what I did for those years. It wasn't the best union, so I got out of that. Wasn't easy, but I did that, and was single for a couple of years. That's when I got into the skincare business, and been doing that ever since. And I met my 2nd husband and in my salon. He was my UPS guy. And it's
you
true.
Have a punchline for that?
I do. UPS guys, it's true what you heard about them. They really do have huge packages. But my husband and his package are retired now. I'm kidding. Just the package. Anyway, but it's true. He's my UPS guy. And anyway, I went to a lot of comedy shows, and I was a big comedy groupie. So all the local comics knew me. They saw me in the audience everywhere they performed. And so I became friends with a lot of them. And some of them started coming to my salon. And Bill Word, he was doing comedy classes, and he said, you should come take my class. You know, when we would banter, he said, you're funny. I said, oh, I have horrible stage fright. I could never do it. But I took his class, and the first time I went up, it was a disaster, and I thought I was going to faint. And I went from that to last year, performing in front of 500 people at the Irvine Improv. And also at the Coach House, I did Funniest Housewives. I performed with them. And then I performed with Jim Taylor at the Irvine Improv. He does a show every every month. And Julie Kidd does Funniest Housewives. And I was in that show once. And then Jim Taylor saw me in that show and invited me to do the improv. And I did that. And so, if you have fears and things like that, it's so true. You need to go out of your comfort zone and face them, because I would have never experienced that. It was those two performances, the time of my life. I mean, if I quit there, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But to be able to do that and get through it and really enjoy the moment, not be afraid, was just amazing. So it's good to go and do that. Face your fears.
How did you get to the point where you knew everything so well that you had no fear? That's a nice thing to open up the window so people hear it.
Well, I had a lot of life events happen in the last years that kind of changed my whole attitude about caring this might sound weird, what other people think of me. So that really held me back a lot to doing things I wanted to do, because I was more concerned about what other people thought than my moment. And so I was able to do that. It's not about me really learning. I do a lot of different material. I don't have my same thing that I do. I change it up a lot. So I have to do a lot of rehearsing, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work, but I try to do those at my show, because then only I can get mad at me. I'm not letting anyone down, right?
Yeah.
If I do someone else's show, then I bring the stuff that I know backwards, forwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that way I don't have to put, because that reflects on the producer of the show if the comedians don't do a good job, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. That's where you pick up a lot of material, by hosting.
Yes, and by being able to have that show, no matter what, I can try all my new stuff out there and see how it works before I do like a bigger type show, right? Yes, it's great. It's fun. Anyway, I love it. It's fun. The first time I went up, my husband went up with me.
What? That is so cool.
Because I didn't think I could do it on my own. And so he went up with me. He's very supportive. And with my comedy, I do jokes, a lot of jokes about him, as you heard the UPS joke, and he's very cool with it. A lot of people wouldn't be cool with that, but he says he's helping me.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
Nice to have support. So your husband's very supportive, and then people around you. Bill Word taught you. He talked you into coming and learning comedy structure and performing.
And then Julie Kidd with the Funniest Housewives. I've been watching her comedy since she was just starting out. I've known her for many, many, many years. So she got me the Funniest Housewife gig, which in turn got me hooked up with somebody else. And that's, kind of how it goes. They see you and then you get another show. So you got to just keep going out there and doing it.
Yes. So how many hours of material do you have if you're always changing and rehearsing? You must have a lot of material.
I do. I joke around and say I could do a 2-hour special, no problem.
Wow.
I do. I am a writer by, I guess that's why that happened to me when I was young. That turned me into a writer, because I do have a lot of writing projects. And when I got involved to start within the comedy, one of the reasons I did it, even though I was afraid, was I had material already. So I went through all my material and I put together a skit of my husband and I together. And it was, it didn't go well the first time, but we do a lot of bantering anyway. I get a lot of material from him. He's hilarious.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't try to be hilarious. He just is. And he'll say to me, you got to write that down, what just happened. That was funny, and use it in your comedy. So yeah, he likes it that he's in my comedy.
That's awesome. Oh my
I know,
God.
it's great. It's important to have support of, the person you're with, your mate.
It's so important.
Yes.
And trying to enroll them to continue to be supportive.
He hasn't missed one show. He's been to every single show, every single one.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Is that crazy?
That's so beautiful.
It is. I did much better the second time around. Yeah.
Yes.
We get a little smarter, we women, as we go along.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I was married once, and I haven't gotten remarried since. So So
It
yeah.
sounds like it was really a good marriage.
Oh my goodness. Could I
No,
burn
right?
your
Yeah, it's hard to find the right person to be with because we're all complicated people. It's hard to, cohabitate with someone, right?
Yes. So, you're on stage, you've been in comedy 4 years, you've been hitting some really good shows and opportunities. So what are some things you want to accomplish in the rest of your comedy career? Like I have a certain goal. I have 3 goals. I want to go on AGT. I want to perform at Dry Bar. And one day before I croak, I want to be on Madison Square Garden stage. Now,
Oh, wow. That's a good one. That's really good.
Even if I never do it, that's when I'm performing to Madison Square Garden in my mind.
Right. You've got that in your mind. Yes. That's great. Yeah. You have to have those, you got to manifest all those things you want to bring to yourself, right? Because if you do that, it brings it. It does bring it. It works.
It does.
I don't. The pandemic just slowed everything down. I stopped. I couldn't work as an esthetician anymore. I couldn't do comedy anymore. Everything that I did was really impacted by that, and it was tough. And I know everybody went through a tough time.
Right.
Everybody. Sure. I'm not saying just me or anything like that. But now I'm just slowly getting back into it. And I just started back with my monthly shows in Yorba Linda at the Main Street. And then I've got the one coming up this month on the 19th for it's a fundraiser for my niece who has gastric cancer. And she's a young mother with 3 children, twins that are 10 months old, and a 5 or 4-year-old little girl. It's very sad. It was very sudden. And she's, it's a terrible thing. So I'm trying to, help her with her, treatments and everything. She's a fighter, so we are hopeful that she can get through this and stay with her babies and her husband. She's very happy. Past that, I do want to, I'd like to do the improvs again. I'd like to do, like maybe the Comedy Store. I haven't done any shows in the LA area, so I'd like to do that. It's just getting right back into it is the thing. I don't have any near goals coming right up because I don't know what's going to happen in this world. It's been a crazy time,
Yes,
just when we think it's getting over or getting better, something happens. So I'm a very positive person. I try to stay positive and optimistic as much as possible. I've been through a lot of things in my life, but that has gotten me through it. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. If I could have whatever I wanted, I would have a comedy club.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I mean, it's going to go big, right? Go big.
Yeah.
If I somehow came into enough money to do that, I would definitely do that. I would love to do that in Orange County here. Right near where I live, there's not that many, there's no big comedy clubs.
No.
So no, there's not. So I would love to do that. And there's a lot of places I've scoped out around here that it would work really well. So that would be
what city are you? Where exactly are you? My sister's
I'm in Orange, California, in Orange County. So there's nothing right around here. We've got the 2 improvs, but they're both a little ways away, but nothing right in this area. We need it. So yes. Anybody wants to, invest, let's do it. Right.
That's a great one. My sister lives in Laguna Niguel, so she would come.
Oh, yes. Well, over that way, though, they have the Irvine Improv. They have the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano.
Yes.
Right. So they have some places, and there's some other places there too. So, here, there isn't really anything. There's nothing.
It's crazy.
I know. And there's a lot of people here that love comedy, so
and
Orange
is such a cute city. I mean,
I love it. I've been here a long time. I grew up west of here, but I've been in Orange most of my adult life, and I really like the city. I'm thinking of moving to Fallbrook, but
Fallbrook's cool. That's just below where my daughter's in Murrieta.
Yes, I have family in Murrieta and Temecula area, and it's kind of not too far from the beach, like Oceanside and all that, San Clemente. But that's ways off. We're not, if I get my comedy club here, that's off. I'm not moving. So,
Yes.
yeah, send that out there into the universe. Yeah, we're going to have that.
What I'd like to go into now is some of the crazy, how they have weird, hard, stupid, scary as prompts. So in your comedy life, and when you've been on stage or at events or with comedians, what stands out in your mind as funny stuff, weird stuff you'll never forget that happened?
You mean while I've been performing?
When you've been on stage or when you've been watching comedy, anything that is like over the chart, there's always crazy things that happen when you're watching or performing comedy.
Well, the first time I produced a show, it was in a place in Fullerton, a coffee house. And this was just kind of off. It was funny because it looked like it was a setup, but it wasn't. There's a comedian, Johnny Flowers.
Yes.
He's African-American, right?
Yes.
And he was in my first produced comedy show. I've done a lot of shows with Johnny. He's had me in a lot of his shows, and I just love him. And so he was up there and he was talking about being arrested and policemen and different things like that about himself, when he was younger. And two policemen walked in the coffee house right when it was like on cue, right when he was talking about that. And everybody, they weren't sure whether this was a setup or what. And the police officers didn't have any idea what they were walking in on. And they were like, why is everybody cracking up? It was so funny. It was just perfect. It was perfect.
Oh my goodness sakes.
That was a great producing of a show for me because I was really nervous and I wanted to be good for everyone in the show and for the person. I knew the woman who owned the coffee house, and it was wall to wall, standing room only. The place was packed. I mean, it was great. It was such a fun night. And then that got me, I had to keep doing it. Once that happens, you've got to keep doing it, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
What's the biggest lesson that you've learned when you've been performing? Like a lot of times we learn from our failures. We learn the biggest lessons. When I've failed, I've learned great things. When you get up there and do well, you're glad, but you don't really learn something new necessarily.
Right.
So you don't need to tell me like that you failed and focus on the failure, but any specific skill you learned from a time when things did not go well?
Yeah, I learned to just keep going if a joke doesn't work, because a lot of times it'll mess them up. It messes up their flow, or it gets in their head, and then they mess up the rest of the whole set. So you have to just keep going. And then remember, I have my husband record every time I go up. He records me so I can watch it back later and see, what things worked, what things didn't work, my demeanor, my stage presence, different things like that. That's how I learn how to do what I do, the way I do things. Practice. You can practice too much, and then it's too like a script, right?
Yeah.
But you got to know your material enough that you're not going to be stammering, because that messes it up too. So you've got to know, be strong with your punchlines and things like that. So, and just like you're talking to people instead of rehearsing on a stage with a movie lines or something like that. Yeah, you don't want to sound like that, right?
There's this one person in comedy in New York, Steve Marshall, and he gave me the coolest idea. He said, practice imperfectly. So he gave me permission, like a prescription almost, to just practice messing it up right before you go on, like the day that you're going to go on stage with it. Do your set and purposely make all kinds of mistakes and just go through it, say a joke and a different punchline, or say a joke and don't say a punchline, and do whatever you want with it. And it frees you up to, it just loosens you up so that when you go up there, the jokes, but it keeps you so loose to go up, and you're not like a robot with your jokes, because you.
Right. Well, I noticed when I rehearse, I go usually into my salon room where I have peace and quiet and nobody's there, and I'll rehearse whatever I'm planning to do, because since I change it up so much, I need to rehearse it. And I noticed when I do that, without looking at it, just from memory, because you want to memorize what you're going to, or have an idea what you're going to say. I'll improvise on a lot of it that isn't what I've actually written down or think I'm going to say, and sometimes that's even better than what I was planning on saying. So yeah, that's why it's important to do that kind of verbal rehearsing. I think, for me anyway, I think everybody has their own little way of doing it. Like, I don't like to bring notes up on stage. I don't like to do that, and so I don't. And then I have gotten a brain freeze and forget what's coming next, because I like my stuff to kind of flow, and then that helps me to know what's coming. Yes. And so I've had that where I had to go sit down because in my own show, though, it was my own show. So I said, oh, okay, I'm going to stop now. And I just bring up the next comedian. Right. And then I went up later and I finished that rest of the portion of my set. So yeah, that's not a shining moment. But you know what? You learn from it.
And like I told you at the beginning, I have brain trauma. And so for me to perform a set, I have to practice it 30 times a day for 2 weeks to memorize it.
Oh, bless your heart. That must be really hard.
And even with that, I still have to bring up a set list of just 13 words or 5 words or whatever it is.
Right. Oh, like little words to give you a tip of what's coming. Well, that's what made Zoom, I started doing the Zoom shows during the pandemic and had never been on Zoom before. And that was one thing that was kind of cool, is that you can have your notes off to the side and nobody knows they're there. So it takes some of the pressure of remembering what you're going to do. But you can't do that on stage. That's not cool. So yeah.
No. You can put half of your notes on the left side of your computer and half on the right, and you can be like,
exactly. Yeah, we have our little tricks. I know some people that write it on their hand, write the little, like you said, the little tag things on there. What comes? Yeah, that's a pretty good trick.
Yes. So, I always if I write them on my hand, I'm just scared to death to look at my hand. I've written them on a mug where this part of the mug was facing
and people,
me.
You have it in your hand, right?
Now
I'd be afraid I couldn't read my own writing. So.
I know. And I'll look at a word and I'll go, I have no clue what I'm
exactly. Well, that's why sometimes they go over and get a drink on the little bench, right? And they have their little notes there. Yeah, I've seen all the little tricks.
Yes.
Well, so far I'm able to memorize it, but it's that's part of it that's a little bit challenging, is to remember everything, especially if you're going to do a long set. If you're just going to do a few minutes, it's not that much. But
no, not at all. Somebody told me too that if you're speaking the truth and you're doing it in chronological order, it'll be much easier to remember what you're saying. Like I used to write a joke about a coffee mug and a lipstick tube, and just because they were jokes, and then I couldn't remember my set. But when I started digging deep about me and doing it in order of how they happened in my life, and then finding segues that connected them, then all of a sudden I could remember so much, because I was really talking about real things that really did happen.
Exactly. Then you don't have to try to remember what like fiction you wrote, right? Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, then, most comedy is based on truth, right?
Yes.
So, I know.
Of all the times you've been on stage, did you have a time where somebody talked to you afterward and made you tear up, or gave you input that you thought was way off, out of line, or wonderful input? Does some kind of input you got from a fan or audience member or another comedian or booker stand out in your mind?
Right. I did. Those are the two that I mentioned, where I did the Funniest Housewives. And that was the first time I got up in front of that many people at one time. And with Julie Kidd, she's the producer of that. And after I got down from doing my set, I went back to the green room, and Jim Taylor, who does the Irvine Improv every month, he does a show there, grabbed me and said, I want you to do my show. I mean, I just got back to the green room. I said, what? And that was on my bucket list. Okay, both those things were on my bucket list. And I said, okay, let me know when. And he said, you tell me when. I said, next month. And he said, okay, you got it. So I had like 2 weeks to prepare for that. But he said, do what you did tonight. It was funny. So I did that. And after that, I was going to his show every month. After I performed at Jim Taylor's show, every time I went for almost a year, well, till the pandemic hit, actually, every time I went to his show, somebody called me out. Aren't you Lindarella? Weren't you in this show months back or whatever? And they would say nice things. And my husband goes, pretty soon you won't be able to hold that head. You know, I was so surprised. I am like my worst critic. So I don't take things like that easily. I don't, it's hard for me. I come from my childhood where I was, put down quite a bit. So I carry that with me. I work hard on it. And when stuff like that happens, it takes a lot of it to happen for it to really, like, to me, to start thinking, well, maybe I did a good job that night. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it was very cool. Those were the two moments where you think, okay, I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right. Mostly I just go to enjoy myself and love to make people laugh, and it's fun. And I think we all need to laugh. Laughter has gotten me through so many things in my life, going to comedy shows. It's medicine. It really is medicine. And to be able to give that to some people is a wonderful gift. I enjoy doing it.
So you come across like you have, like you mentioned that you've overcome a lot. You come across like you're wise because of what you've gone through. So if you want to speak to things that you have overcome to share inspiration to people, I would love you to share how you get through traumas or upsets or
without going into any of the traumas and upsets, because I want to keep it on a positive level, which is how I live my life.
Yes.
My motto, I'm writing some books about this, because I think it's important for people to not let traumas go with them through their life in a negative way. I believe that we all do the best we can in any given moment. And sometimes a person's best is not good, okay? But they think they're doing their best, or something has happened to them in their life and they're just having issues and they're struggling. People do horrific things to each other. And I am really big on forgiveness. I forgive. It's hard for me not to be able to forgive because I see the blessings in forgiving and I've lived them. I've forgiven some horrific things and the blessings have come back to me because of it. That I've had relationships I would have not had and blessings I would have had I not forgiven. So again, I think we all make mistakes. We all need to be forgiven. We need to forgive ourselves when we make mistakes too, and learn from them and try not to make them again. And we should give other people that same opportunity. So that's kind of where I'm all about and coming from.
Wow, that's beautiful. I'm so glad I asked. How beautiful.
I know. Sorry if I'm blabbing on and on.
It's
but I'm very passionate on that.
That's amazing. That's a real key to happiness.
I think so. It's really hard for some people to forgive. And I understand. I do. I didn't come easily. But once you start doing it and seeing the beauty of it for not only the person you're forgiving, but yourself, it comes easier and easier. And you see that it's really, we all need to be, we're all in this together. We're all here learning different things, and some are better at learning it than others. And we should help each other get through this journey. That's just that doesn't mean everybody else should feel that way. That's just how I feel. So I share it with people that want to hear me. Otherwise, I don't,
You come across to me, like you could be an inspirational life coach, motivational speaker, comedian.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Has anybody ever told you that before?
No, I don't usually talk about these kind of things on stage, you know.
Yes,
So,
no.
you know, but
No.
I do in my with my esthetician work, you know, I do kind of do counsel and help some, you know, I had a lot of younger people. I helped with a lot of relationship coaching, and I helped some of my clients find their prince instead of all these frogs they were finding. So,
Oh my
you know,
God.
and it's good. I don't have any birth children, so my clients, a lot of them became like heart children to me, and it was very rewarding. I've had a really rewarding life. I have no complaints. I mean, I came from a lot of dysfunction. You know, I didn't know my birth father, different things like that, and but I really think that the attitude of forgiveness and all that has really helped me to find happiness in my adult life, and I didn't let it drag me down, you know.
Beautiful. So tell me about the patent. You have a US patent. I want to hear it.
I'm getting ready to try to promote that again. Actually, it's called Cheekers. And I just got an idea one day, and I tried it on a pair of jeans. And one of my clients, I told her, and she said, you should get a patent on that. You never know. She got me in touch with a patent attorney. I got a patent on it. And it's actually a really good patent. It's hard to copy. And so I manufactured some jeans, and some of them were selling in a boutique. And I opened up a little jean store, a little place there, and you know, it was doing well. And then sad news, my mother got sick with cancer, and she passed away. And while we were up there with her, the jean store was robbed. So they stole a bunch of the jeans. And then, yeah, I had a real tough time after my mom passed away. I was very close with her. So I kind of lost interest and just put it on the back burner. And I have a lot of jeans left, but they're pretty cool. I mean, they're fun, they're interactive. You can change the colors of the designs. And yeah, it's very cool. So I'm going to be posting some photos of them soon on Facebook, and see if I can get somebody maybe wants to, you know, get it going with me, because I just don't know how to get into that. You know, I need to get around somebody that knows maybe the garment business and apparel business, things like that. So that was fun. That was a fun thing.
Have you thought about going on Shark Tank?
I actually had a meeting with Damon John face to face.
I was just thinking of Damon. Boo boo.
Yeah. Oh, I love him. He's the nicest person.
How
He's
did
so
that
down to
go?
earth. Isn't he nice? Well, you know, when I got my meeting with him in LA, he was at the point where he wasn't investing in any clothing at that time. He was doing other things because he's got so much. You know, he was been on Shark Tank for a while. So, but I asked him outright, you know, do you think this is a good idea? Should I pursue it? And he said, oh, absolutely. He liked it. He said, I totally, you know how he says, I get it. Or if he doesn't get it, he said, I totally get it. And yes, I said, because, you know, I'll just table it if you don't think it's good. But he gave me all these tips on who to talk to, and but I don't want to go and manufacture more jeans. I have nowhere to sell them, you know, so that's why I kind of put it on the back burner. I make peanut butter fudge, and I took him some peanut butter fudge, and he told me I needed to make a business out of my peanut butter fudge. That's what he told me. I said, I can do both. You know.
Wow.
So yeah, my peanut butter fudge is pretty popular. You can ask anybody who knows me that's had it. They're like, oh my gosh, it's the best stuff ever. So
My gosh.
I see, I like to make people happy. I like to make fudge, make them laugh, give them some jeans they can play with, do their faces, you know? Right? A little bit of everything, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So where can people see you perform? Now, I want you to cover the upcoming September 19th fundraiser again, and anywhere else you have that you're regularly performing at or you have coming up.
Well, that's what I have coming up right now. And I'm still easing back into a monthly show at the place where I was having it in Yorba Linda. It's Main Street Restaurant in Yorba Linda. They have a big showroom. They do a lot of music there, but I'm the only comedy that they have once a month. So usually it's the third Sunday of the month. But now we don't know, you know, everything's kind of, you don't know. It's a wait and see with the COVID. So, but
Yes.
the 19th at 6 o'clock, we're doing the benefit for my niece. And I'm looking forward to that. That's my focus right now. We're really trying to help her get through this and fight this terrible cancer. It's, yeah. cancer's, we've all been affected by cancer in some fashion, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, I wish you the very best with that. And my prayers are with your niece.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Do you have any shows coming up?
Well, let's see. Yes, I do. I'm going to be on a Johanna Petrie show and a Carol Newell show. Tomorrow is Johanna Petrie, the Dive Bar comedy show, and then Carol Newell show the night after on Tuesday. And I'm going to be Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. I get my 3rd hour with Tommy Chong.
Oh, how great.
Interviewing
that's awesome.
him. And I get to interview his wife too, Linda.
Oh,
her name's
awesome.
Shelby. Yeah, I can't wait.
Fun. And when is that? When is that?
Tuesday, 2:00 Pacific. It'll be on my Facebook Live. All
righty. We'll have to tune in on that one. That's going to be great.
He's so amazing. It's hard to make him look bad.
Yes, I can imagine.
Oh my God. Hi, baby. Oh my gosh. So adorable.
I know you can't tell, but he has blue eyes.
Oh, no way.
Can you tell? He has blue eyes.
Oh my gosh. Valentino, do you know your name? Kiss me.
He's actually hard of hearing, unfortunately. I can usually get him to sing. Can you sing? Can you sing? Sing for mama. Sing.
Oh.
Can you sing? No, he's not in a singing mood. Yeah, he does a lot of tricks. This dog's amazing. He rings a bell and I can tell him to ring it 3 times, ring it 5 times, and he rings it the number of times I tell him. It's crazy. He's like a little person. Look at him. Isn't he a lover? He's a little lover.
So I go and visit my sister in Laguna, and I'll be there, I think, the 16th through the 22nd of November. So if that time frame happens to be when you're having your show.
Yes, that would be great. I'll let you know. I'll send you the flyer.
Perfect.
I'm not sure what we're doing in November, but it would be the 3rd Sunday, most likely, in November. Unless that's the weekend of Thanksgiving, right? Would that be
I won't be there the week of Thanksgiving, but I'll be there.
It's the week before?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll find out.
Yeah, if nothing else, you can come over and meet my sister.
Oh, yay. That would be awesome.
She'll love you. Well, this was amazingly fun for me.
Thank you so much. It was really fun. Look at this.
And so I'll post the flyer for the fundraiser for your niece. And let's all get out there and help support this cause, because it's no joke to get cancer. And this is a young mother with children.
Yes, and I have like an all headliner lineup. It's really, and everybody's just doing it to help her, which is so awesome. I have the most awesome comedian friends. Comedians are amazing people. They really are. They're a family, really are a family.
I saw you have Paula Faust on there, and Rufus Leroy Kingsley, and you have Nancy Ann Horvath.
Right.
Yeah,
and Art Valenzuela and Sam Berglund. I'm going to be in it too, even though I didn't put my face on the flyer, except down at the bottom. There's going to be 9 comedians. It's going to be a good show.
Wonderful.
I got Bill Word is hosting. My guru, my teacher, my comedy teacher. He's hosting. He hosts most of my shows. He's an awesome host.
Is he?
A real pro. Yes. He's amazing.
I'll send the flyer to my niece in Elisa Vallejo and my sister in Laguna Niguel, and see if they can go to the fundraiser.
Oh, thank you. That would be amazing. Yeah, the more the merrier. We're really trying to get this going for her. It's so hard when you find out someone you love is battling that, and somebody so young with little children, and you feel like, what can you do? And it's very frustrating for people who love that person to not be able to help. So I came up with this. The only way I can maybe help her is to have this show in her honor and try to, help her with her financial obligations for, treatments. Medical stuff is very expensive. It's very. So, but there's a lot of good medicine out there and a lot of good treatments, and people are surviving cancer more and more. So yes, it's a good cause.
Yes. Well,
thank you so much.
let's all look at the post afterwards and see the flyer and see if you can donate, even if you donate $1, 50
Exactly.
cents.
She has a GoFundMe page. And
Okay.
I'm just seeing, because I want to make sure I didn't leave out anybody in the,
If there's a GoFundMe page, I'd love to have you send that to me by messenger if it's not on the flyer.
oh, Julie Kidd is going to be, I left out Julie Kidd. She's going to be in the show.
Oh,
Is that
my sis-
amazing?
Oh my goodness,
Julie
that's
Kidd,
a great
and like you said,
lineup.
Rufus Tanksley, Paula Faust, Denise Shue.
Yes, I love her.
Yes. And then, like I said, Bill Word, Nancy Ann Horvath. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome. Art Valenzuela. All these. I mean, this is going to be an awesome show. You got to try and come.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'll let people know I'm not going out much right now because I'm allergic to the shots, deadly allergic.
Oh no.
So I'm staying in until.
What is in them that you're allergic to? Do you know?
I'm allergic to shots. So like the VA hospital can't tell me the ingredients. So they can't tell me if I'm allergic to it, but I'm allergic to preservatives and shots.
I have that issue as well. Yeah.
And it's a deadly allergy to preservatives. That's one of my deadlies, and dyes and salt.
Are you allergic to sulfites?
Yes.
Me too. Me too.
Wow.
I know that just came on me suddenly later in life. I didn't have that. Yeah.
Me too.
It's so weird. If you Google sulfite allergy, you will never go out anywhere or eat anything again because it shows up in everything.
Yes.
I know, it's terrible.
Oh, it's very limited diet.
Yes. Well, we have a lot in common.
We do. Thank
we
you
got to know
so
each other
much for
better.
coming. Now that you're a graduate of the Comic Spot, you
Oh,
get to come and plug things once a month. Say, Linda, this is
Oh.
Lindarella. I want to come on and plug a show. Or you want to plug where you're going to be performing. Or you
Oh,
want to
cool.
plug another fundraiser. Anything you want. You have access once a month now that you're a graduate.
Oh, thank you so much. You're awesome. This is a wonderful thing that you do. You're very good at it too, by the way. You made it very fun and it flowing, and yeah, you ask them good questions. And you're very supportive. Yeah. Awesome. I love it.
Thank you so much. I love it when people say, "Oh, that's a good question." And I say, "That's a good stall technique." Thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Bye. Love you lots.
Bye, everybody.